Hi, my name's Dan Page, and I'm the founder of Skill Highway. If you're joining us today, then you've probably been referred to me by a good friend and colleague from Skill Highway, or perhaps you've read an article about us in some of the online forums or some of the local media, newspapers and magazines that have done stories about us. What I'm here to do today is to share a strategy with you that has generated millions of dollars for my own business and that of some clients that I've worked with. So first I'm going to do is, number one, explain what the strategy is. Second, how you can take advantage of it. And thirdly, give you some examples of what I've done. I used this particular strategy this year, I guess last year, 2010, to generate $1.7 million in new business from a business that we started from scratch. Zero. Just an idea. So it's not something you have to have thousands of customers and all built up to take advantage of it. You can take advantage of it if you have a small business, even if you have no business whatsoever. And I've done it many, many times. So let's jump right in. So the strategy in particular that I'm talking about is partnering with competitors. A competitor, if you have an offline business, could be someone in the same geographic area as you. You might sell to the same types of customers in the exact same town, exact same city, or perhaps someone that's outside of the geographic area of you, so you might have the same types of customers, but you don't compete directly. In the online arena, that client, that competitor could be someone who has the same types of customers that you do. You look a little bit alike and you service the same customers, and you might even compete directly. And you ask yourself, geez, Dan, why would I want to do business with someone that I compete with? They hate me. I'm scared of them. Or I try to, figure out their business model and everything. And I'm here to tell you they can be your best friend. It might be a client. It might be a business that targets the same types of customers with you, but they're in sort of a horizontal industry. So they do business with the same types of customers that you do, but they don't really compete with you. So there are a number of different folks that can be competitors. So next, let me jump quickly to what do you do? Okay, so you have this great thing, partnering with competitors. What does that mean? When I approach this, the first thing that I do, either for my business or that of my clients, is I look at one of two scenarios. One, if I have a product or service that I think is really cool, that I'm selling to my customers and they're successful, and I'm looking for new markets for it, I go out and I look at my competitors. I'll do a list of anywhere from 30 to 100 of them. And literally look at them, look at the products they have, the services that they sell, how they target them, and then keeping my product over here and sort of thinking about, would it potentially be a fit if, for some crazy reason, I was able to work with them. If the answer is yes, I put them on the hot list over here. If for any reason I think the answer is no, then I put it on the, not so hot list over there. The other scenario is, you say, Dan, well, I don't have some special product or service that I sell that I want to be able to market. I just want more business. Okay, good. Then the next thing that I would do then is just go out and look at competitors. Review them. Look at their products, their service. Look at their website. What do they sell? How is it similar to what you sell? And how is it different? That's the big point. So you might all sell the same types of products and services, but there's a very good chance that there's something that you do is different than what they do. And so really think about that and look at that, and maybe they're selling a product or service or positioning something. Maybe they have a real high-end product that they sell that you don't. Or maybe they have a low-end, entry-level product or service they sell that you don't. So look at your competitors and look at what they are doing that's different than you, and look at what you are doing that's different than them. Recognize you're going to have a lot of commonality right in the middle where you're competing directly with each other. So compile that list. Again, I for whatever reason, I don't go after anything less than 30, and I'll go as high as 100, and then whittle that down to the folks that I think might be, a good prospect if I were to work with them. And the very next thing that I do is I pick up the phone and I call them. This is a place where you can get stuck really easily because it's kind of scary. You have to be comfortable doing that. I know what a lot of people do when they look at this strategy is they strategize too much. They'll think about it. They'll mull it over. They'll write this War and Peace document about how it should be done. They'll fret over it in months. Years could go by, and they just won't do squat. So I'm saying be a person of action. If it's a large company, find out who the CEO or the person in charge of sales, and ultimately that's who you need to be talking with, who's ever in charge of selling, which could be VP of sales, or if it's a smaller company, could be the CEO or president or owner. And get them on the phone. You may need to send them an email first and set up an appointment, But ultimately, get them on the phone and talk to them. Don't just do it by email, because you need to be able to have that conversation back and forth. And get on the phone and say, hi, my name's Dan Page, or whatever your name is, and say, I'm your direct competitor. The reason I'm calling is I spent a lot of time researching your business and mine, and I think we have some overlap, but we could both benefit from doing business together. That I'd be interested in having a discussion about taking some of your products and selling them to my customers, and vice versa. I have something that could be very interesting to sell to you. And the reaction is going to be, well, okay, go ahead, continue talking. And from there I say, well, here's the product that you have that I'm really interested in. Boom, boom, boom. Describe it out. And what do you think if I were to promote your product to my customers, and whichever number of them buy it, you pay me. You pay me a percentage, you pay me a referral commission, whatever it might be. But if I'm generating incremental revenue for you, you pay me. And quite often you're going to hear well, okay, keep talking. And then in return, I have this really cool product that I'd like to make available to your customers. And if they buy it, I promise not to compete with you. I promise not to steal your customers, and I'll put that in writing on pain of death if I ever violate it. And you have to be very serious about this. You will not steal their customers, and there are definite ways to do this and put their fears at ease. And it won't cost you anything. The only time it's ever going to be any cost whatsoever is if you sell a product and you have to deliver it. And so there's no cost for you to market, so you're saving advertising dollars and stocking fees and all those savings, and I'll just market it to my customers. Chances are you're going to get a response. And the big thing you have to describe is, sir, I will do all the work. I'll write the marketing copy, I'll create the ad, I'll do all the follow-up, I'll do all the sales, so you don't have to do anything other than just make the product available to them. And the same thing for you. I'd be happy to make your product available to my customers. You will be amazed at the response you get. Let me give you an example. And I'm just doing a quick overview because this is a very brief webinar. But let me give you an example how this worked. Back in early 2010, I have a good friend of mine, I've known him about 15 years, who's a financial genius. And he called me up and we were chatting a little bit, and he was explaining to me how he has this great product. Basically, it's a financial product that he can make available to small businesses to give them the funding they need, especially businesses that have been turned down by banks. There are a lot of small businesses out there that are going for small business loans, and they're just not getting funding because the economy's in the toilet, something that we all know. So he thought he had come up with a great idea, just that, an idea. So he explained it to me, and I got it. Said, okay, I'm interested. I'll partner with you on this. So we set up an LLC, set up a very simple website called Funding Strategy Partners. So you can look at it right now, fundingstrategypartners.com. And so then I looked at, really delved into his product and what it was and how it was different in the marketplace, how it stood out. So we could have gone out and spent loads of money on advertising and media and press releases and pay-per-click and Google AdWords and all that stuff. But we didn't want to do that because I thought we had a really good chance about going out to competitors. So that's exactly what I did. I did precisely what I just described to you. I identified lenders, small business lenders out there, and saw how our product was different than theirs. And I called them up on the phone, spoke right to the head guy, said I'm a direct competitor, and a couple of things I'd like to talk about. One is you provide a service that we don't, and I'd like to make your services available to my clients. Immediately got their attention. And they were very interested, and of course they naturally asked, what's your business? So I explained to them what it is that we do, and how we have this financial product that very likely would be a good fit for their clients if they try to help but they can't and they have to turn away. So I said, instead of turning them away, why don't you point them to me? If you point them to me, and if we fund them, then I'll pay you. And I got an instant response. I went out to 30 and I ended up with about a dozen who said, sure. And I send out $1,000 checks on a regular basis to all these folks. Our average referral fee is $1,000. And we literally, between April of 2010 and December of 2010, generated $1.7 million of new revenue with just an idea. It cost us $200 to build the website, zero advertising budget, $1.7 million working strictly with competitors. I have no other marketing strategy whatsoever. Phenomenally successful, and it's growing hand over fist. So that's an example of how it can work in an environment where you already have a business. In this case, we just had an idea. And I've also used this in an environment where I had a company that I looked at that did business in one arena, and I saw another company that was the direct competitor of theirs, and the industry happened to be tenant screening. It's in the multifamily property industry. But one of these companies is also a very big collection agency. So I went to company number 2, and I said, I have a client that I work with that competes directly with you, and I explained who they were, and said, but you guys compete directly, but they're a big collection agency. It's something that I'm sure your clients need when their tenants leave and owing them money or trash the apartment. And they said, as a matter of fact, we get calls every single day about people saying, what do I do? My tenant left me in the middle of the night and stole my refrigerator or something like that, and I don't know how to get the money back. So I said, there's a problem. I said, not only can I solve it for you, but I can help distinguish you from others in the marketplace, and I can create a revenue center out of that for you. And he was instantly interested. Now this is one of one. I didn't go out to 30 companies. I went to one guy. So literally, I went out and I drafted some copy, wrote some marketing copy, gave it to him. He put it on their website. We set up a special website just for his clients that were interested in collections, and just put it on his website. Boom, started it going. That was 5 years ago, and I get a check every single month from that deal, because he got a revenue share, and me as the introductory party, I brought the two of them together, and I also created that first marketing document for it. Probably took me 4 or 5, maybe 6 hours. That was 5 years ago, and I've earned tens of thousands of dollars from that relationship. It took me 4 or 5 hours to do it, maybe 6 hours. And I didn't even own a business. I was just a guy with an idea who understood the knowledge of how to be able to take two competitors and how to be able to create an alliance between the two of them for the mutual benefit. So that's, in a nutshell, how this theory works. We can certainly go more wider and deeper about how it works, but that's in a nutshell how it works. And you'd be amazed how it can work for you. You just need to get your head and your arms wrapped around how it works, and it can be incredibly successful for your business. So I hope this has been helpful for you, and if you'd like more ideas like this, I've written an entire document called Positioning for Profit Strategies, where I have 53 pages of strategies just like this one that I've used in my own business and that of my clients that I've developed over the years, and I'd be willing to give that to you. Why? Because I'd love to have you be a member of Skill Highway. I'd love to have you join us. So if you like what I've shared with you here, please do join Skill Highway. Look below this video and you'll see a short little note from me with a click here button. Click and join as a premium member. As a premium member, that's where I'm really investing my time and money and energy into helping people just like you. And I'd be thrilled to be able to help you. In fact, if you join for a year, it's only $147, and that's less than 50 cents a day. And this document I was just telling you about, Positioning for Profit, I sell that for $189, but I'd give that to you. And then I'll go into detail. Every single month, I'll have in-depth webinars, interviews, very specific examples, helping you with your business, but with the things that you really need to succeed for less than 50 cents a day. And if I can't help you for less than 50 cents a day, I don't deserve your business. Then I'd ask you to say thank you, but no thank you, Dan. If you give you 30 days to be able to look at this and make sure you're getting the kind of value you want. And if you aren't, I'll give you your money back, and I can downgrade you to a free membership rather, and you'll still get an enormous amount of volume, won't cost you a dime, and you can keep everything that I've given to you. And if you can't afford $147, I can even make it more affordable for you, and it's $14.77 a month. Less than going out to a fast food restaurant for two. And again, I'm extremely devoted to be able to help you. And why would I want to do this for such a cheap amount of money, like having your own personal consultant? Because I know if I can help you like this, then I'll have a client for life, and I'll go out of my way to do so. So please do join. If you can't join as a premium member, at least join as a free member, and I'll do everything I can to help you with that relationship. So thank you for joining me today.